Hi all, let me quickly show you how to make this turmeric bathing bar soap. Stay tuned and don't go anywhere. Like my video, subscribe to my channel and share my video across. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel on Bamji Foods DIY. Today I'll be showing you how to make bathing soap, specifically turmeric bathing soap. We'll be making use of some oils. I'll list all the ingredients as we go along the tutorial video. So I'll be making use of shea butter. The weight of each of the components will be listed on the screen. And then for my soft oil, I'll be making use of sunflower oil. Sunflower oil can be replaced with olive oil. Then for my high ladder oil, I'll be making use of palm kernel oil because that is what is mostly found in my country, Nigeria. So let's get straight into it. You want to dissolve your hard oils, which are the butters I'm making use of. So my shea butter, I'm going to add in one of my oils to it and place it on heat to gradually dissolve. While the butter is melting, let's prepare our lye solution. Lye solution is a mixture of caustic soda and water. You can make use of distilled water or a tap water that you boil and cool down before making use of it. All you have to do is to measure out the caustic soda quantity that you need. According to my video, you can make use of my measurements on the screen and then measure out your water. Dissolve the caustic soda in the water. Stir perfectly in a well-aerated room. Make sure that the windows and the doors are open, or you just take it outside and do it. Make sure to also wear your hand glove and protect yourself because this is very corrosive. Also, please don't inhale the fumes that are coming out of it. So it's better you do it outside, or make sure that the windows, your doors are open while you are mixing and making your lye solution. So don't get confused when I say lye solution or caustic soda. Okay, so once it's all dissolved, then you incorporate the other oils that you are going to make use of and gently stir. Make sure you don't soak while your oil is too hot. Temperature of your oil should come down to like warm or cold. In fact, if it's cold, the shea butter might start caking up again, so it can't actually be cold because of the butter we are making use of, but it needs to be warm enough for you to soak. If it's too hot, you may actually have volcano, your soap may separate, so don't work with a very too hot oil. The temperature should be minimal. Your hand should still be able to feel your oil without it burning your fingers off. That's like the kind of temperature you should be working with. So once you are done and everything has cooled down, the lye has cooled down, the oil has cooled down, it's time for us to, because we are making turmeric bar soap, so I'm making use of turmeric powder. You have to first of all combine your powder with your oil and stir perfectly for you to be perfectly homogeneous before you start introducing your lye. If you have any other powders which you may want to incorporate together with your turmeric powder, please do it at this stage. Also note that there are cosmetic grade of turmeric powder, and then there are the types you use in your house, right? So the cosmetic grades don't have any particles suspended in it. It's very pure and clean. Likewise, the homemade own may actually have some particles in it. I'm using the homemade own type of turmeric powder. So I'm just pouring in my lye into it. Stir very well so that you have a good trace. The kind of oil you use will depend on the kind of trace you have. The temperature of oils you soak with will determine if your trace will be too quick or slow. If you are making use of too much of soft oil and less of hard oil, you will have a very fluid trace. You may have to even use a stick blender to even bring your soaping batter to medium trace before you can pour it. But because of my choice of oil, I don't have to stress myself with using a stick blender. It's not all recipe that must work with stick blender. Work with what works for you. So the red oil I'm adding is to improve the color. You saw me adding some red oil to improve the color. You can add more if you want, and then you add your fragrance. I'm making use of black amber lavender by Brambleberry, right? It's a cold process kind of fragrance that you can use to make your bathing soaps without your soap dissolving or your soap butter scattering or oil coming on top. You will not have that with this kind of quality fragrance oil. They are specifically produced because of soapers and people who make scented candles. They work perfectly if you are making cold process handmade soap. There is also the other type that is also made by Nature's Garden. Just lay your hands on very good standard fragrance and you see the little you add works perfectly. Just this tiny amount of 2.5 ml I added, everywhere in my whole house is actually smelling lovely already. But if you buy diluted fragrance that they sell in the market, you will not actually have that kind of beautiful smelling soap once you are done. Remember that it's not everybody that wants their soap to be scented. Some persons are allergic to some of these things that they use in making fragrance. So if you're making it for your household, if you're making for somebody, be sure to ask if you should make the scented type of bathing bar soap or the unscented type. So once you are done, this is a very small bag, so I can do with a silicone mold, but we all know that the best mold for making your soap is wooden mold, so that your soap would not lose its heat quickly. The heat helps to speed up your saponification, help you to bring out your soap from your mold quickly, and helps to reduce your curing time. A cold processed soap should be cured for at least 3 to 4 weeks before you can start making use of it to bathe. If you're a wholesaler, you can actually start dispatching, right? But if you're selling to the end users directly, you should actually cure it for some time before you start selling to them to make use of it. Some persons may actually be reacting to lie. And all the same share. That is why when we are making bathing soap, we'll always try and do 5% super fat for our recipes, so that we'll have some oils left that the caustic soda wouldn't saponify. Those oils are left behind to moisturize our skin and give the skin a very smooth and silky feel. Okay, after pouring your soap into your mold, you let it sit for at least 24 hours before you unmold. So 24 hours later, or even less than 24 hours later, the soap is hard enough for us to unmold from the mold, and it's smelling beautiful, smells amazing. Remember that this is handmade soap. The oils are quite selected to suit the skin, to moisturize the skin, to give the skin a good nutrient. Likewise, the turmeric was chosen because of its property of healing the skin of its hyperpigmentation issues. So the soap came out very loving. So if you want to improve your color the more, you can actually add in colorants. I didn't want to add in any artificial color in this soap. I want this soap to be 100% natural. That's why I left out any artificial color. That was why I used red oil, the crude red oil. You can actually increase the quantity of your crude red oil and it will be more, will I say more orange or more yellowish, depending on what you want to achieve. So ladder test time. For sure it will bubble well excessively. All our oils are bubbling well. I don't have any lard or any tallow in this soap, so I actually got what I was expecting to get: a high ladder, creamy ladder, stable ladder kind of bar soap. When I mean very stable, the foam heads wouldn't actually fall or deflate quickly. They will stand for some time, and the ladder is very rich and creamy and heavy. That's what I was anticipating to get with my blend of oils, and that is what I got, and it so feels amazing. Thank you.